Hello, Street Fighters. I think, Jared, we're going to start with a little presentation, a little dog and pony show. Is that right?
Quick video, and then a couple of slides.
Let's do it.
We'll be brief.
All right. Roll the tape.
For over 100 years, we have connected ready-to-buy consumers to the best ready-to-help local businesses like you. How do we do it? It starts with bringing you over 60 million consumers who consider us to be the trusted destination. And we help you tell your story with always-on solutions that establish your brand and engage your customers. We also help expand your reach through targeted marketing campaigns that drive awareness and capture new opportunities. From turning pages to swiping screens, we connect America. We are YP, the real Yellow Pages.
Now, the reason I like to start with that is just a couple of things. Number one is I think it helps to explain just who and what we are and how we think about the world. So at YP, the real Yellow Pages, we're a publisher, pure and simple. We've been a publisher for 130 plus years, and that's something that we're very proud of, and we want to lean back into that, and you're going to see some of that when we chat a little bit today. It also, I think, helps to show our relative size, right? Talked earlier about scale. We've achieved a certain level of scale in our world from a distribution perspective, also from an audience perspective. So everything we do is shaped by these aspects of our business. So I will skip ahead here. I'm sorry. This is can you go back one slide for me? I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of slides. We did release some new research today. I will do a quick commercial for that. What this really shows is us going deeper into our audience. Again, the reason that we spend so much time, energy, and effort focusing on our audience is what gives us the right to actually talk to small and medium-sized businesses. We do resell other people's products as well, but it's always through the lens of our owned and operated audience on the print and digital side. What these numbers really show you is our audience is ready to buy. They're lower funnel ready to buy, right? 2 out of 33 people. They start their search intending to purchase. 50% of those consumers actually buy within 24 hours. They're not price sensitive. 34% of them actually spend more than you see from non-YP searchers. We also see that 74% of them make a purchase or make a full purchase, right? 50% do it within 24 hours, but 74% make a purchase overall. And again, the reason I show you this is because just to help you understand how we think about the world and where we're positioned in the marketplace. One other thing I will just mention to you, and I apologize, this is not the deck that we intended to have here, but that's okay. But it's not just about the products and services and not just about the audience, it's also about the service level, and I think that's something that a lot of folks have talked about here today. What I'll share with you is we also have a relatively unique approach to how we actually sell our products and services. Call it 40% of our clients, roughly 60% of our revenue fall into this category. We call it MC squared. It's just inside baseball. It's a high-touch sales and service model. And really what it's about expectation setting. The reason I share this with you is because when you think about the Yellow Pages, you think about a canvas cycle. You think about transactional sales. You think about coming once a year and then coming back again the next year. I can tell you that's actually not who we are, and we haven't been that for a long time. Yes, it's an important element of our business. But like I said, for 40% of our clients and 60% of our revenue, we actually will set expectations with them when we talk with them about what they can expect to receive. So think of it this way, is we'll sell you a bucket of leads for a bucket of money. It's a way for us to bridge a direct response model with our clients, which is ultimately what they want, right? How much am I spending and how much return am I getting? With a recurring revenue stream, because a recurring revenue stream is wonderful, right? It's predictable, it's amazing, it's fantastic, and if we all could get recurring revenue streams, I'm sure a lot of folks in the room would like to have that. We've had one, we've had it for a long time. Now, the reason I tell you all that is because, again, it's not just about the products, it's not just about the audience, it's about how we interact with our clients. That's a very deep and important part of our business model. It's why we have, call it 3,000 people in our sales channel. We have a very large premise-based sales team that is a strategic asset. And what I can tell you is when we put those 40% of the clients in that bucket, the retention rates far exceed what you see for clients that sit outside of that, as well as far exceed what we've seen with some of our market comps. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about who we are, and I think you've got some questions for me, right?
I think I do. So when Laura and David asked me to do this interview, they said, ask him a lot of gotcha questions.
Excellent.
And so yesterday and this morning, I went around as I was talking to people, say, what's your gotcha question for this guy? And I think the number one, and full disclosure, YP is a local SEO guide consulting client. So I think I have to be careful with my gotcha questions a little bit.
No, you don't.
All right, number one gotcha question. How's the merger going?
Which merger?
The merger.
I'm unfamiliar.
All right, gotcha. All right.
We're a standalone business moving forward.
All right. So you and I have talked a little bit about what you guys are doing to grow your business, make it more efficient, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it sounds like you're kind of doing the same thing, right? It's you're taking the print business, you put it online, you're kind of adding some bells and whistles, and it's an IYP business, right? Is that the goal? Is it just to keep growing that thing, or is it like what are you doing that's kind of, I guess what I would say is innovative?
No, totally fair. So a couple of things is we're not just taking the online, we're not just taking the print business and putting it online. We actually offer our clients a full integrated suite of products and services, and we think that is unique. We don't just resell other people's products and services either. What we do is we add something to them. We make them unique. We make them better. There is a construct inside of our business where you've got an always-on and then you've got campaign-based products, right? The always-on products is the stuff you need every single day to have a healthy media diet. Things like print, things like IYP, things like a website, things like presence. We sell all that, right? That's unique to us. We own those audiences. That is a sustainable competitive advantage. We also resell other people's audiences and services as well. However, when we go and we sell somebody else's product and services, we have to earn the right to represent that product. And you don't earn the right to represent that product simply by having a big sales team. You can do that. That's unsustainable over time. We earn the right by actually adding value to it, leveraging our first-party data to make our search better, leveraging our first-party data to make our social ads product better, right? Taking direct mail and not just selling a direct mail product, but also integrating that direct mail back into the IYP ads as a coupon, because we know when we do that, it's a 3% click-through rate improvement in IYP. So as we think about it, we don't think about it as not being innovative. We think there's an intense amount of innovation in being able to take this complex marketing ecosystem and present it in a meaningful, simplified, valuable way to over 370 or 80,000 clients on an annual basis. If that was simple, more people would do it.
So I think you said, you used the word sustainable, right?
Yeah.
As a sustainable, I forgot what the exact phrase was, but a sustainable business, right?
Yeah.
You work at a huge scale. At the huge scale level, is that business growing or is that business shrinking?
So that's a fair question. So we do have different aspects of our business, right? We got the print business. We all know what's happening to the print directory business. It's in decline. It absolutely is in decline. There's no reason that the digital business shouldn't be stable to growing, and we see pockets of that. We are growing aspects of the digital business. What I will tell you, though, is we haven't viewed ourselves as a publisher, pure and simple, for a while. I have been on the job for about 9 months now. We've got a purity of focus that's maybe a little different than we've had in the past. I can tell you this: we've lowered our cost per lead on average by 12% in Q1. We've moved 10 points on ComScore scale in terms of the size of our audience. We're reinvesting in our media assets in a way that it's going to allow us to earn the right to get the digital business back to where we need it to be, because this is a growing market, and as a leader in the space, which is what we like to think we are, and we are, we should be growing at the rate of market.
So do you view yourself, you say your media assets, do you view yourself as a kind of a destination brand? Do you view yourself as we're just a really excellent SMB ad seller, lead generator? I assume you view yourself as both, but at the end of the day, like, where does it fall? Like, what's the priority?
So at the end of the day, it's about audience first. You need something to sell. Our raw material is audience. We need an engaged audience that generates real demand for our advertisers. That's who and what we are. We also have a large sales team. But when I think about us and I think about our orientation, is we're not sales dominant. We're audience dominant. We're publisher dominant. Now, does that mean that we're going to be an independent horizontal search engine? No. That ground's been covered, and there's some folks out there who do that quite well. But when you look at our business, we're really a vertical provider of information. We've got, call it 6 verticals that are really considered purchases that are very, very valuable to us, very, very valuable to consumers, and very, very valuable to advertisers. One of the things I didn't mention on our research is 39% of our consumers experience some sort of life event before they come and see us, before they come to us. Now, a lot of us find us through someone else. We're a bit of a tenant, not a landlord, as it relates to traffic generation, but that's okay. That's quite all right because we offer something unique and different, which is depth of content and depth of connection. Because we don't view this as a commodity marketplace, we actually view it as a matchmaker marketplace.
Got it. So in terms of traffic, I imagine a lot of your traffic comes from Google. Would you say that's correct?
A lot of everyone's traffic comes from Google.
A lot of everyone's traffic comes from Google. I guess what are you doing to kind of decrease your reliance on that source of traffic? Because it seems like it's not particularly stable.
Yeah, it's less about decreasing reliance. It's more about having an approach that is manageable and sustainable. You know, we go to and talk to our advertisers all the time, right, about their marketing mix and how they need to have a balanced diet from a marketing perspective, how they generate traffic, essentially. We apply the same thing to our business. Right? We have an SEM component, we have an SEO component, we have a network strategy, we also have a call buying strategy. We manage all 4 of these different ways because that's how we create value that we then send to the advertiser. So it's not about getting away from one or the other, it's about finding the right mix and blend that allows us to generate the kind of engagement that we need to support our business. We believe very strongly that when you look at some of these players in the space, Facebook, Google, right? These folks, they set the rules of the market. We operate within the rules of the market. That's okay, that's healthy. There's a lot of businesses who operate in this ecosystem very sustainably and very healthily. We're just one of them. Now, you will see us over time, not this year, but call it 18 and beyond, we'll reinvest in traditional media as well because traditional media works. And it's how you layer these different forms of media up to get the kind of traffic generation that you want that ultimately will allow us to sustain and grow.
So you're still kind of reliant on Google, despite all these other ways you're getting traffic. One of the questions from the audience here was, should Google be broken up? Should Google and Google Maps be separated? Would that be better for your business?
Oh, that's for the government to decide. I don't deal in hypotheticals like that. I'll be honest with you. I deal in the realities of the market. And the reality of the market is there are big traffic sources. The reality of the market is there are lots of folks who have earned the right to get consumers to come to them and have them be the first person they show up to. It's less about me trying to change the rules of the market. It's more about us as YP optimizing within the rules of the market. I'll be honest with you, I tend to be a bit of a pragmatic capitalist and railing against some of these businesses that have been highly successful just doesn't seem like a good use of my time as I think about how I deliver value to the local plumber, the local bail bondsman, the local real estate person.
Got it. What percent of your business is, let's say, multi-location businesses versus, kind of more smaller SMBs?
It's a decent chunk, but relatively speaking, we're a small to medium size, we're a small to small medium business. So it's the bulk of the business is not in the multi-locations. It's in the mom and pops, the folks who are in Main Street America.
Got it. Because one of the questions from the group was, why aren't you expanding internationally to kind of service these more global brands? Is that on the roadmap? Is that even interesting to you guys?
Nope, not for us. We got a lot of good work to do here. We think we've got a really good growth path here in the United States, and we're going to stay focused on it.
So voice search is like all the rage, right? Yeah. Everyone's talking about voice search. Yeah. You guys have an app. You can speak into it, right? Yeah. What kind of trends can you tell the audience about what you guys are seeing in voice search?
Specifically, there isn't anything terribly interesting about voice search from what we're seeing. I'll tell you, though, I'm on the side of, hey, I think this is going to be disruptive and we all should pay attention to it. I also think for folks like us, we've got a real opportunity to make it something that is uniquely valuable to us. And the reason is because we know a lot about the end advertiser. We also know a lot about the consumer. We have a decent install rate on our app. Utilization, like most folks in this room, probably isn't where you want it to be, but it's good. But ultimately, we need to keep going vertical and developing unique content and unique information so that we can participate in that voice search market. I think anybody who is a thin content provider, you run the risk of getting disintermediated by voice search over time.
So it seems like the way the ad world is going is it's going as close as it can to action, right? Like it's just evolving into where ultimately there's going to be advertising will be more like commerce, right? I guess that's the dream. What are you guys doing to kind of facilitate that trend? Are you doing more call to action through your listings? And if so, can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, we are. When you think about the full range of the different forms of purchase intent that we deliver, right? We're known for phone calls, right? We've been making the phone ring for 130 years. We're going to keep making the phone ring. That's a good one. We also have leads, right? We generate leads. That's okay too. You also have seen us move into things like scheduling. To your point, when I think about all these things, they're really moving towards commerce, right? But I mentioned earlier that a lot of our verticals and a lot of our value to our advertisers really considered purchases. So those are going to move a little bit more slowly towards e-commerce because of the complexity of the transaction and because ultimately buyers and sellers need to talk, especially when you're talking about replacing a heating and air conditioning unit. Right? That's not a simple e-commerce transaction.
Right.
We can try and commoditize it, but the likelihood of that happening anytime soon is going to be, I think, is relatively low. So we are extending into those things. We also are focused on how we can help our clients not just acquire consumers from us, but also retain and grow those relationships over time. So as we think about it, we do think about how we can help our advertisers, our clients, increase the consumer's propensity to purchase. Because that's all really e-commerce is, right? The difference between an email lead and an appointment schedule is that if you schedule an appointment, the consumer's propensity to purchase is higher, right? They've moved down the path. They're closer to a sale. It's what allows you to monetize it at a higher rate than a lead. So all these things they're all kind of on the continuum, and you'll see us participate in all of them because there's a place for each of them. Because while some advertisers may just want finished sales. Just give me the sale. I don't want to talk to anybody who hasn't been completely vetted and I know they're going to buy. There's also a lot of advertisers who are going to say, well, hold on, I'm good at that, right? I'm good at qualifying. You give me somebody who's a little less qualified and I'll do the work on that. So we need to actually deliver a full range of offerings in that regard.
Got it. So there's a bunch of people out here who want to get in business with you, I'm sure. And so they're willing to wait a year while you guys like evaluate and meet and decide. And so I think everyone's probably, if they're going to want to be a partner with you, they probably have to think about 2018, maybe even. No, they can do it right now?
No, listen, here's what I'll tell you. We're heads down. We're executing our strategy. Like I said, our strategy is a simple strategy. Our strategy is a publisher strategy. If you have products and services that you think would add value to our consumer or our advertisers, we'd love to talk with you. Just know that when we have this conversation, we're going to view it through the lens of what gives us the right to sell your product to our clients. And again, I will tell you, that's a higher bar than, well, I've got a sales team and I've got a relationship. Again, I believe that's unsustainable. You can selling something once is easy. Selling something twice is hard. Selling something 3 times is near impossible, right? Every service and sales contact is a sales event. You either create value or you destroy value. Nothing normally in between. So as we think about these things, just understand that's the rigor that we use to think through our partnerships and what we bring to the channel. It has to make sense for us, and we have to be able to be authentic in our conversations with our clients.
Fair enough. Any questions for Jared? We've got about a minute to go, so if you've got a burning question. Mr. Polchak.
Acquisition might be the biggest challenge you guys face. What are you doing to turn the curve on customer acquisition?
3 things. So one is our premise-based sales team. We do acquisition through our premise-based sales team, right? We still do the, hey, here's a new business, I'm gonna go see them. We still do that. We have a telesales channel that is fairly robust and fairly successful at acquisition as well. So telesales is number 2. The most nascent of the 3 is an e-commerce channel. And I will tell you, we have an e-commerce channel that now represents north of 5% of our digital acquisition on a monthly basis. And that's from a standing start of 0 about 5 months ago. The most interesting thing in my mind about this, and I'll share a metric with you here that's private information, but hey, we're all friends here. When we bring that 5% in, almost 6% in now, what we actually have found is by pushing them into our telesales channel, we convert them at an exceptionally high rate. So we're able to take somebody who has an ARPA of, call it $70, and turn them into somebody who has an ARPA of north of 221 at a 30% clip. Now here's the reason that I get excited about that. That is a new acquisition channel, but it's not an acquisition channel that necessarily gets away from our core strength. And our core strength is being able to not just offer you a product SKU, right? Our core strength is being able to talk to you about the full portfolio of products and services that help you as a client meet your needs. Now, the only way you can really do that and do that effectively, I believe, is human to human, belt buckle to belt buckle, having that conversation. And we're seeing some early success on that that we're very excited about.
And you'll have to stay tuned because we are out of time. So thanks. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you, everybody.